morning, good afternoon, good evening. I've often said on this platform that Zimbabwe is a failed state. The thing with a failed state is wherever you look, you see a problem. Everywhere you look. Last month, Mnangagwa kept 6,900 graduates from the University of Zimbabwe. Let's forget about the quality of education. That is a topic in its own right. Let's just focus on all these young graduates, most of them. Of the 6,900 graduates, a year from now, they'll be very lucky if 2% of them have got a steady job. This is how tragic the situation has come in Zimbabwe. Those who graduated last year, only 2% of them managed to get a steady job. The rest, they've been thrown on the unemployed heap. And it has now grown to the size of Mount Everest. And so the new graduates will be added on to that heap. It is most disheartening. This is a criminal waste of the nation's resources, material resources. It's not cheap to send somebody through primary school, secondary school, high school, university. It's a lot of investment. And at the end of it, the individual is unemployed. But most significantly, it's a criminal waste of human talent. I'm sure all these young people would have worked very hard throughout primary, secondary, high school, and university to get to be a graduate. Only to find they cannot find a job. It really is disheartening. I was fascinated by a caption that appeared in the in an article showing where Mnangagwa is today, somewhere in Bulawayo at NAST, carrying out more graduations. And the essence of the banner was that think beyond limits, ignite innovation, power of industrialization. I have to say, one has got to ask, who is this who is coming up with all these idiotic ideas? Do they even stop to think? It is not the graduates who are failing to think beyond the limits. It is the authority themselves, those people in positions of power and authority. Surely by now they should have known that if you've got unemployment, a nauseating 90%, it is not more graduates that you need. Institutions of learning are supposed to produce graduates to meet the job market. But if the job market has completely disappeared, to keep on churning out these graduates is madness. We should be looking at why is it that Zimbabwe unemployment has soared to such nauseating heights as 90%. It's totally unacceptable. And yet, the powers that be seem to take great pleasure in these occasions. Every year, presiding over the graduation ceremony, capping thousands of graduates without a second thought that 98% of them from the previous year are still unemployed. I talked of a failed state. I think that is one of the essence of a failed state. And in this particular case, I really feel for those graduates. I went to university. When I finished, I know there was an overwhelming urgency for me to find a job. I was lucky to get one within 2-3 months. I can imagine what it must be like for these graduates to find themselves in a situation where a year from now, they're still unemployed. For some of the older ones, they graduated 5 years ago, they're still unemployed. 10 years ago, they are still unemployed. 15 years ago, they are still unemployed. It must be disheartening. It is a criminal waste of human talent. I honestly think we have got a problem with our political system that cannot react to the needs and aspirations of the citizens. Think beyond the limits. Jesus. I think it is those in authority who are showing that they're failing to think beyond the tip of their big noses. Think about it. Thank you. Good afternoon.